about to give you an amazing fact. Now, I'm more familiar with these numbers because I follow this every day, but a lot of you might be surprised by this. And it clarifies a lot of what happens in this country, right? So the politically powerful people, like, of course, the president, wind up cashing in ways that you kind of know about. You know they're going to get rich. You know the Clintons have hundreds of millions of dollars, right? But when you see it, it's still a little startling. So after Bush left office, of course, that was, late 2008. He loses the election. He leaves early 2009. And between that time and 2011, he gave 140 paid speeches that totaled $15 million. So in about 2 years, just for going, people are paying for Bush to speak. They'd like to get his pearls of wisdom. Phenomenal, right? $15 million. Look, he's got a long way to catch up to the Clintons. One of the reasons he doesn't make as much money as the Clintons, he doesn't like traveling outside the country. So Bill Clinton doesn't mind going and giving speeches, oftentimes in dubious places for dubious reasons. George Bush is like, how far do I have to go? Okay, the story I'm about to tell you actually is from his home state, which is fairly outrageous, but I wanted to give you context first. His paid speeches average between $100,000 to $175,000 per speech, usually for about an hour. How do you like them apples? Pays to be the president, $100,000 an hour for speeches, and that's his minimum. So here's an interesting story. Turns out that he gave one of these speeches at a homeless shelter and took $100 grand off them. Isn't that amazing? Like, now look, man, don't let anybody tell you that George W. Bush does not care about the poor and the needy. Okay, he's a good Christian. As long as the homeless fork over $100,000, he's on their side. Right? Now, of all places, this happened in McKinney, Texas, believe it or not, at a homeless shelter called the Samaritan Inn. Now, the people who did it actually back him, even though they're Democrats. Lynn Cipiora is the executive director, and she says actually at $100,000, he was, quote, a bargain. Wow, a bargain. Okay. He probably could bike over there, so that's why he didn't mind doing it for only $100,000. But she's a little right. Hillary Clinton charges about $250,000. So she said, we looked into it. We looked into Hillary Clinton. I'm a Democrat. She said, I looked at entertainers, political figures, but they were much higher. $250,000, $250,000 to speak at a homeless shelter. Now, to be fair to Hillary Clinton, she didn't get that, so we don't know if she would have done it for free or she would have actually charged $250,000, although I have a pretty good idea of which way that would have gone. And so why do they do it? Well, it works. That's the amazing part. Again, Lynn Cipioro says, we're a homeless shelter, so it was a hefty fee for us, but we ended up netting over $1 million. Isn't that amazing? And this is how the world works. Well, by the way, why did people give $1 million? Is it because, they're like, oh, right, the homeless, God, man, I want to help the homeless, right? Well, they're going to help the homeless with or without George W. Bush. No. People pay a lot of money to go see George W. Bush and shake his hand, take pictures, yada, yada. That's why usually it actually takes a little bit over an hour. What are they doing? They're going to hear what George Bush has to say? Come on, dude. Even if you're the most hardcore Republican in McKinney, Texas, you're not like, hey, honey, I can't wait to hear what Bush is going to say today. Boy, man, I bet it'll make me a smarter person. No, they all have some sort of ulterior motive. And look, I don't want to, the people who gave to the homeless shelter that day, bless their hearts. Who cares what their motive is? I'm happy that they did. But we break down the news for you guys. And I'm telling you that the way this all works is they didn't go to the homeless shelter the day before. They didn't go to the homeless shelter the day after. They gave the $1 million that day because they went to go see Bush. That's why Bush gets invited. That's why Bush gets these big speaking fees. That's how the world goes around. It is not just Republicans. It is most certainly Republicans and Democrats. But this is also part of the reason why politicians sell out. Because they know, hey, don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat. Millions of, tens of millions, in the case of the Clintons, hundreds of millions of dollars are on their way, okay? Just be cool, play team ball, don't do anything crazy, let the establishment do what they're going to do, and then you are going to get insanely rich. Welcome to America.